Let us see simple pendulum as an example of a linear simple harmonic motion. Here we can show under certain condition a simple pendulum, that means a bob of a simple pendulum performs the linear simple harmonic motion. We can obtain the expression for period as well as frequency of oscillation of a simple pendulum. Then we can draw some conclusions, and these conclusions are also called as the laws of simple pendulum. So we have to study the laws of simple pendulum. After that, what is meant by seconds pendulum? We can obtain the expression for length of a seconds pendulum, and also we can show that length of seconds pendulum is constant at a given place. Before going to that, we first know what is meant by a simple pendulum. First we see ideal simple pendulum. In the ideal simple pendulum, it is a heavy particle, or you can say that it is a point mass. And you know, point has existence but no dimensions, and we can say here it is a heavy particle, and that heavy particle is suspended by means of a massless, inextensible and flexible string from a rigid support. This is the ideal simple pendulum. So how you can define the ideal simple pendulum? Ideal simple pendulum is nothing but it is a heavy particle or a heavy point mass suspended by means of massless, inextensible and flexible string from a rigid support. Now this pendulum is called as the ideal simple pendulum. Why this simple pendulum is called as the ideal simple pendulum? Because the heavy particle or heavy point mass is not in existence. I have told you that a heavy point mass, point has existence but no dimensions. And how you can say that it is a heavy or heavy particle? So heavy particle is not in existence. Also massless string. Every object which is present in the universe has a certain mass. Either it is less or it is large. So there is a string, and as there is a string, there must be a mass. There is a mass. So we can't get a massless and inextensible string. So these two things are ideal things, and therefore this simple pendulum is called as the ideal simple pendulum. So what is ideal simple pendulum? Ideal simple pendulum is a heavy particle or heavy point mass suspended by means of massless, inextensible and flexible string from a rigid support. So as this is ideal simple pendulum, for the practical purpose we use the pendulum which is called as the practical simple pendulum, or in other words we can simply say it is a simple pendulum. Practical simple pendulum and simple pendulum, both are the same things. We generally use as a simple pendulum. So what is practical simple pendulum? That is the simple pendulum which is used for the practical purpose. Now practical simple pendulum is nothing but this point mass is replaced by a heavy metallic sphere. It is a heavy metallic sphere, either it is brass or steel or any material, and this heavy metallic sphere is also called as the bob of the simple pendulum. and this massless spring is replaced by a light whose mass is not large, whose weight is not large. So it is a light and inextensible spring used here. So in this, a heavy metallic sphere, which is also called as the bob, is suspended by means of light inextensible spring from a rigid support, that is called as the practical simple pendulum. And I think you have seen that practical simple pendulum. Here I have a simple pendulum here. This simple pendulum, here there is a metallic sphere of brass, and that metallic sphere is suspended by means of a light string. So this is a practical simple pendulum, heavy metallic sphere suspended by means of light inextensible spring from a rigid support. We can assume that this is a rigid support, and therefore it is a practical simple pendulum. So what is practical simple pendulum? How we can define a practical simple pendulum? Practical simple pendulum is nothing but it is a simple pendulum which consists of a heavy metallic sphere, also called as the bob, which is suspended by means of light inextensible spring from a rigid support. That is the practical simple pendulum. Now you get the idea about the ideal simple pendulum as well as practical simple pendulum and the difference between them. What is ideal simple pendulum and why ideal simple pendulum is called ideal, or why it is not in existence. Now, under certain condition, the bob of the simple pendulum performs a linear simple harmonic motion. We have taken the simple pendulum as an example of a linear simple harmonic motion. Under certain condition, bob of the simple pendulum performs the linear simple harmonic motion. Suppose here we have a simple pendulum where m is the mass of the metallic sphere, that is mass of the bob, and L is the length of simple pendulum. What is the length of the simple pendulum? Length of the simple pendulum is nothing but it is the distance between the point of suspension and center of gravity of the bob. That is called as the length of the simple pendulum. Look here, L, capital L shown here is the length of simple pendulum. This is the distance between the point of suspension, say point of suspension as O, and the center of gravity of the bob. This is the length of the pendulum. Now here OA is the equilibrium position. B and C are the extreme positions. Now why B and C are called as the extreme positions and A is the equilibrium position? Let us see. When the pendulum is suspended steadily, the center of gravity of the bob remains exactly below the point of suspension. So this position is called as the mean position, or we can say that it is the equilibrium position, just like this position, that is mean position. If the bob of the simple pendulum is displaced from its equilibrium position and then released, it begins to oscillate on either side of the mean position. That means it goes from mean to extreme position, that is B, from B to again A and again A to C. That means this pendulum oscillates between two extreme position and A is the mean position. We have to show that under certain condition this bob performs the linear simple harmonic motion. Now look here. You have seen B is the extreme position. When the bob of the pendulum is at extreme position, there are two forces acting on the pendulum. What are these two forces? The first force acting on this pendulum is the tension in the string, that is T dash, and that tension is directed towards the point of suspension. This is the first force acting on the simple pendulum, that is the tension in the string which is directed towards the point of suspension. You know, when the bob performs the simple harmonic motion or gets oscillated, then the string remains straight. As the string remains straight, we can say that there is a tension in the string, and that tension is directed towards the point of suspension. Second force acting on the simple pendulum, that is vertical force, which is equal to mg, that is weight. You can say that it is a weight of the bob. That force is mg, which acts vertically downward direction. Suppose theta is the angular displacement of the simple pendulum. This force is mg acting vertically downwards. Now mg is a gravitational force acting on the bob, and as it is a force, it is a vector quantity, and we can resolve this force, that is weight of the bob, into two components. One component in the direction of the string, and second component perpendicular to string. So this angle is theta, therefore this angle is also equal to theta, and this is the adjacent side of this triangle. Look here, this triangle, and therefore this component is mg cos theta. So we can divide this force mg into two components. One component is mg cos theta, which is along the string, along the length of the string, and this component balances the tension in the string. Okay, because E dash and mg cos theta are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. That's why you can say that this component mg cos theta is equal to T dash. So tension in the string is balanced by the component mg cos theta, which is along the string. Now second component, as this angle is theta, this angle is also theta here, and this becomes the front side of this triangle, and therefore this component, which is directed from B to A, this component is mg sin theta, and this is unbalanced because there is no force which balances the component mg sin theta. So mg sin theta is unbalanced force, and this force is directed from B to A, and this force tries to pull the bob, displace the bob from B to A. That means this mg sin theta tries to restore the bob to its equilibrium position, that is A, and that's why this is called as the restoring force. So second component, which is perpendicular to string, is, that is restoring force, F is equal to mg sin theta. This is in magnitude. We can take here a negative sign. Now what this negative sign indicates here? Because the angle theta increases oppositely up, force is directed towards the main position, and theta increases opposite to mean position, and that's why we have taken here negative sign. F is equal to minus mg sin theta. Now let us put one condition on this oscillation, that is amplitude of oscillation is very small. Amplitude of oscillation is very small. What means? This is the large amplitude, we can say this is the large amplitude. Okay, look here. But if the amplitude of oscillation is very small, that means the path of oscillation of the pendulum is very small. Then the angular displacement theta is also very small. If the path of oscillation is very small, then angular displacement theta is very small. As theta is very small, we can say that sin theta is nearly equal to theta. That means the condition which is put on the oscillation of simple pendulum, that is amplitude of oscillation is very small. If the amplitude of oscillation is very small, then theta is very small. As theta is very small, sin theta is nearly equal to theta, and therefore we can write this mg, this is number one, say relation number one, we can write F is equal to minus mg, instead of sin theta we can write theta, minus mg theta. Now this is the angle. Now look here, if the amplitude of oscillation is very small, then AB is the arc of the circle whose radius is equal to length of the pendulum. No? AB is the arc of the circle whose radius is length of the pendulum. And if amplitude of oscillation is very small, then arc and chords are equal, and chord is x, and therefore x upon L is nothing but it is the theta. So theta is equal to, as theta is equal to x by L, we can put the value of theta in this relation. So F is equal to minus mg into x upon L. This is the restoring force in terms of the displacement. Okay, now here n is constant, mass of the bob, g acceleration due to gravity is constant at a given place, and L is the length of the pendulum. Because this string is inextensible spring, so length remains constant, length is constant, mass of the bob is constant, as well as acceleration due to gravity is constant at a given place, and therefore we can say that this force is directly proportional to x. Force is directly proportional to displacement, that is force acting on the bob is directly proportional to displacement, and this is the condition for the linear simple harmonic motion. That means when the bob performs the simple oscillatory motion, then force acting on the bob is directly proportional to the displacement, and force and displacements are opposite in direction because there is a negative sign. This negative sign indicates that force and displacements are opposite in direction. That means this satisfies the condition for linear simple harmonic motion. So when the pendulum performs the oscillatory motion, when the bob performs the oscillatory motion, the force acting on the bob is directly proportional to its displacement from the mean position, and negative sign indicates that force and displacements are opposite in direction, and therefore we can say that this bob of the simple pendulum performs linear simple harmonic motion provided that amplitude of oscillation is very small. This is the condition. If amplitude of oscillation is very small, then bob of the simple pendulum performs the linear simple harmonic motion. Okay. Now it is proved that the bob of the simple pendulum performs linear simple harmonic motion under certain condition. Condition is amplitude of oscillation is very small. Now we can obtain the expression for period of a simple pendulum. Period of simple pendulum. Now period is given by the formula T is equal to 2 pi divided by omega. You know that formula. T is equal to 2 pi by omega. You have seen the point, period, frequency, etc., amplitude. At that time, you have seen that period of pendulum is 2 pi by omega. And omega is T is equal to 2 pi divided by square root of acceleration per unit displacement. Omega is acceleration per unit displacement. Now I have to obtain the acceleration per unit displacement. Here we have this formula, F is equal to minus mgl x by L. Then F is equal to ma, you know, F is equal to ma. So ma is equal to minus mgx upon L. This mm gets cancelled. Like this m and m gets cancelled. So a by x, take this x on this side, a by x is equal to minus g by L. If we take x on this side, so a divided by x is equal to minus g by L, and in magnitude it is g by L. If we think only of magnitude, then a by x is equal to g by L. And what is a by x? A is the acceleration, linear acceleration, and x is the displacement. So a by x is acceleration per unit displacement. Okay, it is acceleration per unit displacement. So period t becomes t is equal to 2 pi divided by square root of acceleration per unit displacement, that is g by L. So it is g divided by L, or we can write t is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon g. So this is the formula for period of a simple pendulum. So period of a simple pendulum is given by t is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon g. Okay, this is the period. And a frequency of oscillation of simple pendulum. You know, frequency is reciprocal of period. As frequency is reciprocal of period, n is equal to 1 by t, and therefore we can write frequency n is equal to reciprocal of this right hand side. Here is 2 pi, we can take 1 upon 2 pi. Square root of, here is L upon g, we can take g upon L. So this is the formula for frequency of oscillation of a simple pendulum. Do you get it? How you can obtain the formula for period of a simple pendulum? There will be question. So that a simple pendulum perform the linear simple harmonic motion if the amplitude of oscillation is small, and hence obtain the expression for period of a simple pendulum. This is the formula for period of a simple pendulum. L is the length of the pendulum, g is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, now you can take the screenshot of this board. Now, period of a simple pendulum is given by the formula t is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon g, where L is the length of the simple pendulum, g is acceleration due to gravity. We can draw some conclusions from this formula, which are also called as the laws of simple pendulum. So what is the first conclusion here? From this formula we can say that period of a simple pendulum is directly proportional to square root of length if G is equal to constant, and G is constant at a given place. So at a given place, period of a simple pendulum is directly proportional to square root of its length. What it indicates? It indicates that as the length of the pendulum increases, its period also increases. This is the first conclusion, or it is a first law of simple pendulum, we can say that. And this is also called as the law of length of the pendulum. Law of length of the pendulum. Look here. This is the length of the pendulum. I kept a small length. And if you oscillate, look here, the period is small. In this case, period is small, frequency is large because length is small. If we increase the length of the pendulum like this and again oscillate, what happens? Look here, its period increases. As the length increases, the period of oscillation of the pendulum also increases, and as frequency is reciprocal of period, its frequency decreases. So this is the law of length. Okay. So first conclusion, at a given place, G is constant, period of simple pendulum is directly proportional to its length. Second conclusion, suppose if L is equal to constant, then we can say that T is inversely proportional to square root of G. L is constant. If we take L is constant, 2 pi is already constant. T is inversely proportional to square root of G. That is, period of simple pendulum is inversely proportional to square root of acceleration due to gravity for the constant length, for the given length. That means, which indicates that as the value of acceleration due to gravity increases, then period decreases, or vice versa. If acceleration due to gravity decreases, then period increases. And you have seen in 11th standard how the value of acceleration due to gravity changes with the latitude, with the altitude, as well as with the depth. If we go from equator to pole, then value of acceleration due to gravity increases. What will happen to the period of simple pendulum? As acceleration due to gravity increases, so when we go from equator to pole, then its period decreases. Also, you have seen, as we go above the surface of the earth, then the value of acceleration due to gravity decreases. As the value of acceleration due to gravity decreases, then period also increases. So we go higher and higher. Then for the given length, the period of simple pendulum increases. At infinity, the value of acceleration due to gravity is 0. So period will be infinity. The same thing happens in case of orbiting satellite. In orbiting satellite, effective value of acceleration due to gravity is 0. And therefore, period of simple pendulum is infinity. That means, in case of orbiting satellite, the simple pendulum cannot oscillate. It remains whatever its position. So this is the second conclusion. Third conclusion, look here. There is no term mass of the pendulum, mass of the bob of the pendulum, that is small m. So period of a simple pendulum is independent mass of bob, that is small m. Period of a simple pendulum is independent of mass of the bob of the simple pendulum, whatever may be the mass of the bob. If we take a pendulum having a length of 1 meter, say, if we connect it with a bob of 10 gram, we find the period of oscillation. Then if we replace the bob by 50 gram, 100 gram, 200 gram, 1 kilo, 1000, any, the period will be same because the period is independent of mass of the bob. Also, number 4, this period of simple pendulum does not depend upon amplitude of oscillation. Period of a simple pendulum does not depend upon the amplitude of oscillation, provided that this amplitude is small. This amplitude does not exceed the limits of SHM. Then and then only we can say that this period does not depend upon the amplitude of oscillation. So these are the four conclusions which are also called as the four laws of the simple pendulum: law of length, law of acceleration due to gravity, law of mass, and law of amplitude. Conclusions as well as the we can say that the laws of the simple pendulum. Okay, now you can see one more point, that is seconds pendulum. What is seconds pendulum? We have to show here what is seconds, we have to see what is seconds pendulum. We have to obtain the expression for length of seconds pendulum, and we have to show that length of seconds pendulum is constant at a given place. So what is seconds pendulum? Seconds pendulum is nothing but it is a simple pendulum whose period is 2 seconds. ज्या सिंपल पेंडुलमचा पिरियड हा 2 सेकंद असतो त्याला आपण सेकंड्स पेंडुलम म्हणतो. म्हणजे ज्या पेंडुलमला एक ऑसिलेशन पूर्ण करण्यासाठी 2 सेकंद लागतात त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, सेकंड्स पेंडुलम. फॉर एक्झाम्पल सी दिस पेंडुलम, दिस इज द इक्विलिब्रियम पोजिशन, दिस इज द एक्सट्रीम पोजिशन. इफ यू रिलीज it oscillates like this. For this pendulum, if it takes 2 seconds to complete one oscillation, then we can say that this pendulum is a seconds pendulum. So what is seconds pendulum? A pendulum which has a period of 2 seconds, period of oscillation is 2 seconds, is called as the 2 seconds. So seconds pendulum. So for seconds pendulum we can say that the period is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, and suppose length of the seconds pendulum L is equal to Ls. S stands for the seconds pendulum. We have formula for the period of pendulum. General formula T is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon G. We can modify this for seconds pendulum. For seconds pendulum period is 2 seconds, so 2 is equal to 2 pi square root of Ls upon G. Squaring on both sides, we can write 4 is equal to 4 pi square Ls upon G. Okay, now this 4 gets cancelled here. Ls is equal to G upon pi square. So this is the formula for the length of seconds pendulum. Ls is equal to G by pi square. G is acceleration due to gravity, and we know that value of acceleration due to gravity is constant at a given place. So the length of seconds pendulum is also constant at a given place. So already I have told one question. Define seconds pendulum and show that its length is constant at a given place. So length of the simple pendulum, seconds pendulum, is constant at a given place because G is constant at a given place. And nearly the length of the seconds pendulum, the value of G, you know that Ls value of G is 9.81 meter per second square, and the value of pi square is 9 point something 87, and therefore this Ls is just less than 1, something like 0.98 or 99 meter. So nearly the length of seconds pendulum is 0.99 meter, where the value of acceleration due to gravity is 9.81. So here We have seen what is ideal pendulum, what is practical simple pendulum. Under a certain condition, the bob of the simple pendulum performs the linear simple harmonic motion. We obtain the formula for period and frequency of a simple pendulum. Then we have drawn 4 conclusions, also called as the 4 laws of simple pendulum: law of length, law of acceleration due to gravity, law of mass, and law of amplitude of oscillation. And at last, what is seconds pendulum and formula for length of the seconds pendulum. Okay.